We
Okay.
are in the key demos wrestling reviews, and today we are going to be discussing is AEW an alternative, and what can AEW do to obtain that coveted 50 plus demographic from WWE?
So, would you like to start it off?
Yeah,
Or,
sure, why not? So, when you look at a promotion like, to me, in my opinion, a true alternative like Ring of Honor, MOW, NWA, they're more sports based. So what I mean by that is it seems more like two guys who are just like imagine two guys in a UFC fight, in a boxing fight, in an MMA fight. Two guys who want to kick each other's ass to become champ or to move up in the rankings and then become a number one contender. So that's what I see the main difference between, the indie ones compared to WWE. So do you see this in AEW?
no, it's very similar to WWE to me.
Right. To me, its presentation is more sports and entertainment. You have a lot more comedy gimmicks. You got, your Orange Cassidy's, your Miro, your best friends. Well, it's kind of hard to not say a comedy gimmick because a lot of them are comedy. But with that said, one thing that you do see a lot now from WWE is you see the part timers. So now we're seeing more and more part timers in AEW. So they just added Big Show. So whose spot is he taking?
Maybe Excalibur's on commentary. I hope so.
that 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 would be great. I mean, even though I don't watch AEW anymore, but you
um,
know, that's
I mean, I don't see an alternative. Well, I don't know if it's an alternative or a difference, but to me, it's AEW's not that very different from WWE. I mean, the roster's just filled with a bunch of guys that I guess Vince McMahon won't hire, and I mean, they're not doing anything to prove them wrong. But it's very similar to WWE, but just no supervision at all. They do everything WWE does, just sloppier. I mean, if you want to watch smaller wrestlers watch every night, then I guess that's your thing. Go ahead. But I mean, after watching Dynamite for like a year and a half or however long it's been on, WWE doesn't look so bad to me.
yeah. So I was expecting kind of like a territory 80s territory thing going on
Well, they are
where
trying to do that.
or like a New Japan, even though I haven't seen it yet, but I kind of get the whole idea of it. Or just, Ring of Honor MOW, where you get all these contrasts and styles and they put them in one promotion and it's supposed to look good. The problem is they do have the styles at times, but they're inexperienced. None of them went to wrestling schools, or at least most of them didn't. So when they do it, it looks horrible. Horrible. There's botches. There's no selling. There's no psychology. Everyone just wants to get their shit in. So that's a problem. So they try to present it like that as a way to counter program WWE. And in the end, it just ended up being sports entertainment because now we just got a wedding angle. We just got we got a musical. There's just so many comedy. There's just too much comedy to name right now. The characters are primarily comedy. The gimmicks are comedy. It's hard to take anything seriously here because it doesn't feel like nobody is taking it seriously. If you go to an indie promotion, you see the seriousness of it. Like it seems like they genuinely want to be the top star. Uh, so yeah,
Isn't AEW kind of indie as well? I mean, all those stars are indie. I mean, what's the difference there?
experience.
I mean, but don't you say that they wrestle similar? I mean, AEW's indie style, just like the indies as well.
Well, what I mean by experience is the ones that went to wrestling school. So you
Or the
got like
booking is better.
like MJF came from
MLW.
Kurt no from Kurt Hawkins' school.
Oh,
So he went to school. So like he came from the indies, but he has experience. Because if your experience is learning from other backyard wrestlers or cosplay wrestlers, then you're not really learning. So Yeah, so with that said, they tried to do a sports-based presentation. It didn't come off as that way. And you can tell, like, when you compare it to NWA Power, a Ring of Honor, an MOW, it's not the same. It's clearly not. So, like you said, it may be an alternative to WWE. Me personally, I don't see it. You
I
see it?
don't,
No, but
what,
you said you do, but in the sense that it's just awful.
yeah, it's just worse. I mean, but you think they're both as bad, and now you went over to Ring of Honor and what was the other one you watched?
MOW
MLW.
and NWA Power.
Yeah, because you clearly see no differences between WWE and AEW. I mean, I do, but that's basically they're this. Well, it's the same thing, just done worse.
Yeah. So now, how can AEW reach that 50 plus demographic? Well, I'll let you go first.
Well, they got to start taking the wrestling more seriously. I mean, I get it. I love comedy as well, but too many comedy segments is not good. And then your wrestling, you really got to get serious about it because all these botches are really noticeable and they don't even try to hide it afterwards. And then you also got to get your stars out there too, just like WWE does. They get them out there and they make sure they're seen. People recognize them afterwards.
Right, Sasha
Get
Banks
those,
and
yeah, get those eyes on
Mandalorian.
you. Yeah, get those eyes on you. But once you get them on, give them a reason to stay. Uh, I mean, they bring all these WWE stars over, like Miro and Hager and Moxley, and you could tell these fans like their gimmicks they had in WWE for some reason, even though the fans say WWE sucks, but you can tell by their reaction they love those characters or gimmicks. And when you bring them over, you should keep some of that because you're bringing in some of that WWE audience with you as well.
Yeah. What's that saying? If it's not
Broke,
broken,
don't fix,
yeah.
don't fix it because
It's not
yeah,
broken,
because
don't fix it.
yeah, because Miro was just awesome in WWE.
Yeah. So, well, what I see is this is that AEW already has their stench. And what I mean by that is when everyone thinks of TNA, they already see it as the worst promotion ever. And they always bring up the Dixie Carter era. And that era, it was basically, I've seen it myself. So it was a knockoff copy of WWE. They called it WWE Light. So I'm not saying AEW is a carbon copy of WWE because it's not. Even though, yeah, it does have comedy segments, it's not the same. To me, AEW is just a poor attempt at trying to be funny while at the same time trying to be sports based. Neither is working. There's too much inexperience. No one's taking it seriously. The storylines are awful, and the people notice.
Yeah,
They the
they need a grown up in the room.
Yeah, the non AEW fans. I mean, they think it's okay. They think it's perfect, but every other fan, they already have their image of AEW. It's hard to change that image, just like TNA. So with that said, I think the only possible way to get the 50 plus is either A, get the next The Rock or Cena or Stone Cold,
Impossible.
as in make their own new star, which right now I don't see this promotion doing that.
They don't
Um,
have any.
the best thing they can do to get that 50 plus audience is, in this case, they got Sting. They got Sting. They got over 1 million viewers. And that was the right move. The wrong move was not taking it seriously. So their storylines were awful. It was too much comedy. It just seemed amateurish, like it lacked an experience. So the viewers that saw this thought, okay, I came for Sting. I didn't come for this awful booking. If the booking was good, then they probably would have stayed. They would have seen a character like Hangman Page, a character like Darby or MJF, and be like, oh, you know what? They're interesting. MJF is a good heel. Oh, I like to hate him. Darby, there's something about him that's like Jeff Hardy. He has a certain charisma. The problem is they didn't present it that way. They had Sting come out and be friendly. They had him hug uh, Tony Schiavone. You had that whole wedding angle going on. You had this whole inner circle thing that makes no sense. That clearly is just comedy. They showed way too much comedy, not enough seriousness, no good storylines, no good character. And because of that, they lost their viewers in like what, 2 weeks probably. So they spent millions of dollars on Sting, and it worked. They got the million viewers, but they couldn't keep them. So if they want to get those viewers, they gotta put eyes on them by getting a CM Punk or Brock Lesnar or whoever it may be. Once their eyes are on the product, keep them on the product. Make sure the storylines are good, the characters are really good. There's promos, there's packages before the matches to make it seem like it's sports based. So, but as of right now, yeah.
I just think they got to get guys that look like actual wrestlers to get that 50+ audience in. Because I mean, they tune in and they see these little kids in there.
But then again, you got NXT.
Same, yeah. I mean, but NXT, yeah, but it's all wrestling in NXT. But you got to do some of that in AEW and take it seriously. I mean, that's what the 50+ audience likes, actual wrestling. That's why they tune into NXT. AEW doesn't do that. They like all that comedy. If they want to get more viewers and that 50+ age, and you got to get some good one-on-one matches in there.
Unfortunately, they won't because AEW is tag team oriented. So that won't change anytime soon, especially right now since they keep hiring more and more talents. So it's hard to showcase them all. So they got to put them in stables. They got to put them in multi-man tag matches and tag matches.
Yeah, they got to get rid of half that roster because they got way too many people
Yeah,
they don't use and they're never going to use. And basically turned out like WWE,
exactly.
stockpiling talent that they're not using.
Yeah. So yeah. So with that said, I think we pretty much answered it. So
Yeah.
any last thoughts on that?
No, I mean, we pretty much said everything we wanted to say. Let us know what you guys
Wait,
think.
wait, 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 wait.
What happened?
So everyone wants to crap on this Vince McMahon that he's stubborn. Look at Tony Khan. Tony Khan is not willing to try and change anything. He thinks he's right. Like Conan, it's on record already that he said, look, the booking is not good. Tony Khan said, no, I completely disagree. So if any of you AEW fans think that this product will start being good, it won't. This is it. This is a product and it will not change. It will keep being sports entertainment and a poor attempt at sports based wrestling.
Just like WWE, they say get rid of Vince, you got to get rid of Tony Khan.
Exactly.
I mean, just
So
have him sit behind his desk or something, collect his money or count his money, and let somebody that knows what they're doing run it for him.
and for those that say that, oh, it's a new company, there's gonna be an experience or whatever. They have JR's there. He knows what to do. They got Arn Anderson, they got Jerry Lynn, they got Dean Malenko.
But
These
the fans
people,
don't want to listen to them or
these
the
people,
wrestlers
these
because
people worked at WWE.
but they'll say they're old and out of touch.
Well, so yeah, so that's the problem right now too, is that this is
Youngsters
it.
don't want to listen to their elders anymore.
It's not going to be an alternative because
You
it's
got two
just
stubborn men running
yeah.
both companies.
Yeah, so if you're an AEW fan, that's good. Good for you because it, you know, if you like it, then you like it. But it's not gonna change anytime soon. It's not gonna get any more serious, any more better. It's just gonna stay the same.
Yeah.
So
And
yeah.
please pick up a weight.
So yeah, with that said, we are in the Key Demos Wrestling Podcast. I am Zero
Review.
Hero.
Not Super Mario. And have a good night, everybody.
We'll catch you on the next one.